Okay, let's get our meeting started. Our chairman, David Carter's running a little bit late in traffic. He'll be here shortly, but we need to get started. So let's call the meeting to order. The first thing on the agenda is approval of the minutes. Oh, I'm sorry. We have to pledge allegiance. Please rise. The flag is held out of it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Now we can do approval of the minutes. We have the regular meeting minutes for April 24th, 2018. Did everyone get a chance to look at these? Any questions? Comments? Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from Tuesday, April 24th, as submitted.
Do we have a second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
We also have the executive session meeting for April 24th, 2018. Any discussion? Any questions? We have a motion.
Motion to approve the executive session minutes from Tuesday, April 24th, 2018, as submitted.
Have a second?
Second.
Sit here all night until someone seconds it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda is the chairman's report, and so we'll just sort of say it's the vice chairman's report. David didn't clue me in on anything specific he has, but I'd like to welcome Catherine Lee to the city of Chamblee, and as I guess you're going to serve as our new executive director, correct? Well,
Look forward to working with you all, and appreciate your patience as I try to get everything here. Very much look forward to it.
Well, as you probably know, we are very active here, so we are going to get you going really quick. Financial reports next on the agenda. Brian, is there anything that you need to inform us about?
I mean, there's really no significant changes, from what we've been doing. The details here, total current assets of $484,000, total assets including the property of $12.7 million and change. If you go three pages back to the income statement, you can see a little bit more information as far as our sources of income, which is intergovernmental revenue. $356,000 rental income of almost $85,000, payments in lieu of taxes of $77,000, and bond issuance fees of $50,000, for net income of $568,000, and then operating expenses of $318,000. So net income of $250,000 year to date.
Questions on the financial? Well, with that being said, I will relinquish my duties as the vice chairman and turn over to our chairman. We just completed number 4, bring the agenda.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Brian. Next is the Town Center Draft Master Concept Discussion. How you doing today? Good.
How's everybody doing tonight?
All right.
Great. Well, Catherine, I want you to know that Lenny and I go back, I think, over 30 years. So if you want to know anything about me, just talk to Lynn.
I will. I worked for her for 11 years.
There you go. Lynn runs the development authority for catering. Has done an incredible job pulling together that city from a time when, at least when I was in law school, it did not look as good as it does today. And it's actually, the caterer, I think, is probably as good a model as Chamblee could ask for in terms of how we want to see our downtown.
Do you mind moving
Can
that
we get
way?
you to come over here
So that you're not
face the
blocking.
camera?
Well, that was purpose.
Oh, okay. He's trying to show his.
That sign?
Help me out, that's for sure.
Like listen, thank you again for allowing Andrew and I to participate in this and to work with you. And we have Bob Day here from Park Simple, also here tonight. What we wanted to do is give you kind of a quick summary because of all the meetings that we've done together. This is the one where we probably, you might think we've had the least amount of progress. And let me explain a little bit of that. Because our assignment at the beginning was to collect a lot of information, engage a number of different consulting groups, which we did, and then taking that, begin to work on actually the town center plan, which, as you recall, we came up with 3 different alternatives. We came back with one that we felt we presented last month that we felt was the right way. And so now that that strategy and that strategic work is taking place, we're now moving kind of a little bit underground and going into what I'd call the tactical phase, because next month, at the end of, I guess, June 19th will be the day that we deliver stuff over to John Walker so that you all get it over the weekend before the next meeting. We will have in that our final proposal, and along with that, an analysis of the tools and the toolkits, and the different tools in your toolkit to help achieve that. And we are spending a lot of time right now with Park Simple reviewing a lot of the information that we've already received. And in fact, because of the enthusiasm generated by your mayor and others about Chambly, we are starting to talk to different prospects who are interested in bringing or adding development to the city. So all of it's good. You know, I think the key thing is going to make sure after you've gone to the effort and the expense of one, investing in real estate that you've already purchased, as well as the real estate that you're contemplating purchasing, is that the uses that you see come out of that are consistent with what your big vision was. And we see that as an extension of the DDA as that is a role for us to give you advice and consent on. So, Andrew, do you want to walk through any of this? I know a lot of it's stuff that I already have, but why don't you just do a quick review of that for us?
Sure. This right here, as you guys, I think, in the room have all seen. This really just highlights the progress that you guys have made in the city and private development has been drawn to since 2000 or so. It shows all the new development paths in the last 15 years with retail, and you guys become familiar with it, get your bearings. And up here is your third rail, and then blue is office and commercial. Red is retail, and this is the whole foods. What we're tasked with is to work with the progress that has already happened and focus really in this area right around the city. I know there's been a lot of progress made on rail trail, some of which has already been built down here. There's a lot of design that's been done up through the central corridor here between the two beaches, and some streetscape design going up. So we're really hitting the market at a really good time. We're hitting what you guys have already done at a really good time, and this just shows kind of the need for some really good focus here to organize the demand that's continuing to come into the Chambly area.
Before you jump off that,
sure.
You guys know that I chair the Atlanta Council for the Urban Land Institute here, and you should be proud of the fact, and this is in large part because of the City Council and the DDA, there were 2 different projects nominated from the City of Chambly for various categories, one being Mercy Care, their new facility, and the other one being what do we call them, the project with the Chambly sign on it.
Homestead.
Yes, Homestead. So, and both of those were, I mean, they're in the process of judging, but the point is that here, you could call, in your little city, you have 2 really significant projects that are being recognized for their good work. So,
And so just bring everyone up to where we are today, I think this is a good slide to just show the three different concepts that we pulled together with the work of HGOR to help discuss among all of us what a good street system and street grid system looks like in a walkable downtown that you guys want to have. And so we presented this, I think, 2 meetings ago, which eventually we got some great ideas and pulled some great ideas from you all, from the community and other meetings, to finally dig a little bit deeper into what we have here. A street grid that pulls in a lot of the information that we've put to date and shows a little bit more streetscape and how that applies to that street grid. There's a Central Park in Phase 2 and a wide right-of-way here to allow for some good active retail walkable space. And we split it up into 2 phases to incorporate kind of a 2-pronged extension of the rail trail that's already been designed. And so this is really what we're working on today, and going deeper into more than just lines on paper and pulling it into reality and in a package that shows a little guidance of how to implement this plan in the years to come. And so that's what we've been working on for the last 30 days. Considering the legal documents that would be involved and other aspects, pulling together more demand numbers that we have, and operational numbers and things like parking, and how that will impact us from day one, and seeing how you guys can march toward the end of the calendar year without losing any momentum that you guys have already started. And I mentioned streetscapes a couple times. I want to just throw this up. The Broad Street corridor is really something that we feel the city can act on pretty soon, because the amount of land that you guys have compiled over the last few years, there's a big concentration of that between what the city owns and what the DDA acquired. Enough to where you can really create a good critical mass and act on some improvements in infrastructure today that will bring a lot of draw to the area. And this might be a little small, but we've presented to you all what Broad Street might look like, and this has been aided by HGOR on the work here. But it's a 2-lane drive with 2 lanes apart, a parking space, a 5-foot planning zone, and 20 feet, up to 20 feet on either side. That includes a walkable area plus a seating zone. And what we've done is overlaid a 90-foot right-of-way from one side to the other. And there's room there to fit that on a big portion of Broad Street, and what we think will add on the areas where it doesn't fit, it'll still add a lot of character with some bump outs of the buildings that are there, and create a good central zone for people to come and walk up and down the street. And something we're also considering on that corridor is a curbless drive that really, if you were to close the street, you could open it up and it becomes, instead of 2 separate plazas areas, it's one big plaza that you can use for special events.
So we're meeting with, there's 5 independent property owners along that street that we're going to be meeting with before we do our final presentation and get all of their input on this. They're all aware of it, but now you've got to sit down and talk to these all.
I really like the idea of a curbless roadway going through there. I think that could be really interesting. What's the decision process to decide to either go for it or not, or what are the implications?
I think there are a couple of things that you need to think about. One is cost. One is whether or not you want to do textured surfaces, or even go further with like a brick or cobblestone kind of concrete mixed material on that, and it'll be a function of cost. Second is getting the property owners to agree to basically grant an easement for you to do those improvements on top of their property in exchange for them getting the benefit of all of this. And then on the curb versus curbless, you will have to talk to the insurance people. You have to create kind of a zone in there for it. It's been done in a lot of cities. I mean, it's been done in a lot of private development, but and there are a number of examples in the city center developments around the region. So have to look at all of those, and that won't be a decision that necessarily gets made by our recommendation next month. I will tell you my preference and our recommendation would be to go with the curbless plan for just that one quadrant or that one stretch of road to make that unique. But there are all those considerations you have to think about.
Okay.
Any questions?
I'll just mention one other thing before we close out, is that we are in discussions right now, and Don will report on this when you go into executive session, with each of the critical property owners, that we've been, that are critical to making this thing a success, and we can bring you up to speed on that when we talk.
I had one question. It's kind of a minor one, but I'm still curious about it. As far as the trees that go on the streetscape in a curbless situation, are they going to have a border?
And Bob Hughes is not here tonight to answer that question, but usually what you do is if you have somewhat of a minor raised planter, an edge around that, so that you still create kind of a safe zone for pedestrians and for any sort of landscaping that you have.
Right.
So.
And I'm asking because we don't do that yet, and it's something that I've been pushing for, because just for the purpose of keeping things, keeping the mulching really.
Right.
That's a big deal.
It can be a mess.
Yeah. Okay.
So look forward to talking to you guys next month. What we sent you all, and I'll give you guys maybe have seen it. It's just something that was in our scope document that was important to present to you all what we were thinking about in terms of what might go into a declaration down the road of easements and other conditions. And we're pulling that all into the final package present to you all next month.
So we're looking forward to, we'll be busy with everybody here about that.
Fantastic.
So thus endeth our report.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we're on new business. No, I'm sorry, we have old business first. We have signatures on checks. It's an administrative function. You want to stand up and kind of tell us what the issue is?
Yeah, so we have an audit that's been done, and one of the recommendations has come back, even though it hasn't been finished, it was just a preliminary notice that we hadn't been signing our checks with 2 signatures, but that had been something that was in minutes from before. So I have a recommendation that we actually improve that. If we're going to do the 2 signatures, I'm allowed to sign the second one, so that's not a problem. And we're going to add Catherine as well to the bank account so that she can also have access to that. But my recommendation would be that only one of us would be able to sign the second signature. So we can set that up by job function. Instead of having our names, it'd just be the job function that was listed for that.
One question about that, would it make any sense to allow 2 signatures on checks smaller than a certain amount? Make some sort of, and allow both of you to sign it?
I think it's best policy just to do it the way she's described it.
Yeah,
Okay.
So the other people that can sign are both Brian as the treasurer and David as the chairman,
And Ron as well.
and Ronnie as the secretary.
Right.
Yes.
So it always requires.
Vice chairman gets nothing, doesn't it?
It's a thankless
It's a
job.
thankless job, vice chairman.
Do we have a?
Do we need a motion for this?
We do.
Motion.
We had originally asked us for 2 signatures, and then our check somehow got printed with only 1 signature line, so it became the checks were inconsistent with the policy, so we're amending the
Mo-
policy.
Motion to amend our policy as described by Laura.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. Next is new business. We have a review of the parking study agreement. Let's see, who's presenting this?
I can talk a little bit about that as well.
Okay.
We're working with Mike from Haas
Okay.
and Martin Dillon, and he has come back with a proposal. It's gone through Dan. He's scratched out some of the language and we've updated it, and Dan has put his approval on it as well. So this just goes through the scope of work of what they're looking to do. So Parks and Pool and Mike have been working together and for the actual town center, but this is to expand it further into the rest of the downtown area because we keep hearing complaints about the parking situation. We want to get ahead of it before it's too far in advance. So that's what this would do.
So going back to the last meeting, and building on what you said, this was presented to us at the last meeting as expanding the scope of parking beyond just the town center project, which is very engagement. And Dan had some comments, and I think he's worked out, and this is the final agreement that Dan's approved. Dan's not available tonight because he got slammed. But he said that this contract meets with his approval. The amount has already sort of been discussed by us. So tonight, what we would be approving is me to sign the final version of the contract.
Yes, and as soon as we can do that, it should be able to move forward in about 6 weeks later. We should have the final work.
Great. Any questions? Do you have a motion?
Motion to authorize the chair to sign the contract as submitted.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion carries. I'll take care of that at the end of the meeting. Next is the record retention policy. So this came up, I had come in and talked to Emmy, and she said we really have not adopted the state standards for document retention. Right about this time, we got an email regarding audit, and the auditors were looking for certain documents, and I looked in our Dropbox, and I can't find them in our Dropbox, although I have them in other places. And Van's got copies of all the documents that have gone into what we've done over the last 5 years. So what we want to do, I think, is to adopt the same documents retention policy that the city employs, which is the state recommended document retention policy. This is the policy that tells us how long we have to keep things, where we can destroy it, how we can destroy it, etc. And then instead of using Dropbox as our main way of keeping documents, I know that we started that at the beginning when we had no money to do anything else with exactly. I think we're going to piggyback on the city's document retention system, right? So we'll still have access to it. We're not giving up control over anything or anything like that, but we're going to utilize what the city already has in place and adopt what is a fairly standard retention policy so that we don't have documents in multiple places and the audit is easier to do, and the city, as it gets audited, can just hand everything over to the auditors.
So Emmy has also suggested that an IGA would need to be put in place on an intergovernmental agreement with the city council approval for that to happen, and that the actual system that would help you with this wouldn't be up and running until probably about the end of the year. So that would give us some time to kind of get things together and move
How
over.
does that work as far as it's a document retention system? Is it a document filing system that basically all the files go into, and then as the city itself works with those documents,
Yeah, so.
accesses it through there?
Right, so the only people that would have access to it would be Emmy because she's running the whole system. And then all of you would have viewing rights. Catherine and I would have rights to put things into it. And it would only be files that are finalized and things that you've adopted that go along with the agendas. So it won't be any of your working documents.
So the working documents?
No work documents, what about emails?
No emails are in there unless it has a final, something that goes along with your agenda.
Which is actually emails are the next item on the agenda. If you don't mind me kind of merging the two together, because I feel that they're related even though they're not the same. When we first started the DDA, we had a working Shamley DDA email address. We had issues with the email, and I'm not sure quite what they were at the time, but we've been kind of...
There were a couple of people that it would not work, and since we didn't have an IT, this was before Jim had been hired, people that couldn't get it working just didn't use it.
And so now we're all using whatever we typically use, which is probably not the best for Freedom of Information Act requests. We probably need to start disciplining ourselves a little bit to use the actual DDA email addresses, assuming we can get that system fixed.
I'll tell you one of the things that I did with my emails, per Dan's recommendation, was anytime I send an email, carbon copy Adam, because the city is keeping all his anyway, so I don't know.
Well, I think if we start using the DDA emails, then...
Do they even exist anymore?
David, I can answer that.
Yes.
I had originally set up individual email accounts with the downtownchambly.com,
Right.
but nobody really adapted them. All they have to do, I can go through the procedure with everyone, how to set it up, but I can set up an email for each of the board members. Then you'll just have to, in whatever email program you use, you'll have to set up another mailbox. Like, for instance, the way the city has, a mailbox system, email system, you would have to do that. It's easy enough to do. That way, everybody can get, when you get it, it'll come into on your own laptop, whatever, but it'll be just an address to, for instance, dcarter@downtownchambly.com.
The original emails were a different domain. That domain has gone away. So I suggest we use what Jim has rather than trying to recreate
Yes. Yeah.
what we had before.
So the first motion is going to be on adopting the standard document retention policy and starting the IGA process. And the second motion will be to engage Jim to start putting together our group, the appropriate emails for us to use.
Should we forward a copy of the document retention policy to the board so that we can review it as well? I mean, I trust what's in it, but I also think that I ought to know what's in it
Yeah.
before I vote to approve it.
Sure.
So it's actually, and this is a small matter of semantics in some ways, but it's a schedule, not a policy, and you can find it all online. It's a state schedule that you type in what the document is and it'll tell you how long. So it's kind of a big website.
So let's do this. Instead of necessarily approving it tonight, let's go ahead and get something that everybody can review for approval for next time.
Yes.
This will be more of an introductory sort of thing.
Yes.
And we'll have Jim go ahead and start the process with the DDA email addresses, and then we can kind of approve them both at the same time once we've reviewed everything for next month.
And Jim, please just forward instructions as far as
Well,
what it is and how do I access it.
Yeah, it's relatively simple. If you're familiar, if you've ever set up a mailbox for yourself, then you know how to do it.
Is there a web-based interface as well? If I'm
In case you're not using like...
Right, he's saying rather than using like an Outlook program.
Yeah, I tend to use a number of
Is
different...
there a program like Gmail where you can log on to a website and just use emails?
And if the answer is no, the answer is no.
Yeah, not really. I mean, it's pretty much, it'll be done through the server that hosts the downtownchambly.com website, and it's secure and everything. It'll just mean that you'll have, everything will have to go through that, just like if you, I have like 3 different email addresses, and they all kind of go through different things. And I've tried Gmail and Google, and it gets more complicated. If I can just keep it with this, then we know it's easy to set up and authorize.
What's our domain? Is it GoDaddy or Yahoo or?
It's downtownchambly.com.
No, who
Oh, the web host, it's .easy.com.
Okay.
Brian, there is a site, it's a free service called myemail.com, where you can put in your email address and your password and be able to do it that way.
Okay.
As far as I know, it works with any email address.
Yeah, I just tend to use lots of different devices to access emails. So.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, so we'll table approval of anything for next month, and we'll just get this project started. All right. Next is the holiday flags Van, you talking about this?
Yeah, so as you know, when we first started, we bought a bunch of flags to put up and down Peachtree Road during the holidays. They'll actually get installed tomorrow for the Memorial Day weekend. But as I was going through them, and we've had this conversation before, a number of them have expired, whether by someone taking them or one got run over by a car. So we don't have quite as many as we had before, and I wanted to discuss possibly adding on to our supply of flags so that it makes a real impact when we put them out, because it's starting to dwindle in size. Ronnie's helped me many times to put them out, so.
What's your suggestion as far as?
Well, we spent just under $1,000 for the flags 5 years ago when we bought them. I'd like to motion to spend that same amount of money so that we can basically get approximately the same. It would not quite double what well, it would double what we have now, but it wouldn't be double what we originally started since we lost some.
What did we start with?
It was 20 some odd flags.
Do you think the quality of those flags is worth it, or do you think we should?
They've held up pretty good as long as no one,
Steals them.
yeah,
So we're looking at $40 a flag or something like that?
that sounds about right, yeah. I
Do
don't
you
remember
think
the
that-
exact, I can get, if you want the exact price, I can look in Dropbox and tell
Do
you.
you think that the DDA should continue to do that, or do you think that that's something that we should pass on to
Who?
the chamber or the city?
I mean,
I sort of like this, the DDA initiative.
it's up to y'all.
And we're coming into the holiday season,
I'd be
so.
glad to turn the task over to someone else if
Well,
someone's willing to do it.
And so that's the thing, is that if it's turned over to the city, then we know that we have continuity. Or maybe it's a joint venture that we purchased them, but then that the city.
I'm perfectly happy,
And I'm thinking also, because I really think those flags that they do in Doraville is fantastic, with the vets, you know.
the Duluth one too. I
Yeah.
haven't seen the Doraville, but Duluth. that
Well,
does a great
Doraville
job.
does them, and they do all war veterans.
Yeah, Duluth does that too, and they put the little
That's very
crosses
impressive.
and the whole.
It is impressive, and I really would love to see us graduate into that, or the city to graduate into that.
As a council member, what, would that be a parks endeavor, or who would be actually?
You know what, I don't know. Let's look into it. I think you should probably
In the
proceed because of the time thing, but I really would like to see us grow the initiative, us as the DDA and the city, to grow that initiative into exactly what, I'm talking
Well,
about.
obviously, we're not buying these flags before the Memorial Day weekend.
Okay, that's
Well, I
true.
mean, I don't per se have time
Yeah,
to get them, if I want to talk about 2 days, I was going to install them tomorrow. So
Okay.
maybe I should hold off on my motion until next month, and you can find out from council.
I think you ought to go ahead and make the motion to purchase the replacement American flags now, and then next month, let's see if there's going to be an allocation for the additional different flags that we want, because it seems to me like this is a growing project. We already knew we're going to have to replace them.
Well,
Well, it's been
and
5
also,
years.
and also whether or not the city is interested in taking over the management and installation of the flags.
that's another issue.
They've already been storing, Public Works has been storing them for us. Joe over at Public Works has been great, I come over, he's got a little bin that he keeps them in. So,
Well, let's go ahead and move to approve the purchase of the existing flags, and then we'll get, somebody communicate to city council or the city manager's office to see what we can do on call phase 2.
Okay.
So I guess my motion is to purchase additional flags of the same style as our first purchase, not to exceed $1,000.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Next item is public comment. Members of the public, anybody have anything they'd like to stand up and say? We appreciate you all being here very much.
2 of you.
All right. that said, let's have a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of discussion or approving a real estate transaction.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
We'll ask everybody to exit out again. All right, we're back in executive session.
Motion to approve the appraisal as discussed.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, that's all we have on our agenda for tonight, folks. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all, we're out.